Welcome back to the 50th Mount Isa Rodeo. The Cowboys are in the saddle and ready to ride as we check out the action with your commentators Steve Hilton and Guy McPhee.
And here we are in sunny northwest Queensland for the third section of our open steer wrestling, and this our 50th annual Mount Isa Rodeo. Terry Everson gets a good quick catch on that steer now, twist, turn and toss, and folks, that's how it's done. What a great run first up. 5.4 seconds, Terry Everson.
Certainly was, and that's going to put him in great stead. And of course, the steer wrestling, it is a race against time, and the guy that gets off his horse, throws that steer on his side the quickest, will walk away with the money.
Well, of course, walking away quickest, Ian Allen, veteran cowboy. He's having a bit of a tussle out there with that steer. Not quite quick enough to take the lead, but a good time nonetheless of 7.0 seconds for Ian Allen. Errol Frayne, another one of our good Queensland cowboys. Now, once again, we see rides up beside that steer. Twist, turn, and hey, we've got a great time on the board. The cowboy Errol Frayne. And a time of 5.3 seconds. Well, that puts him right up on the leaderboard. Our final competitor in this round of steer wrestling, Jamie Reynolds, Western Australian cowboy, gets a good quick time on the board, 5.1 seconds. You can see he's a bit dejected. A broken barrier gives him a 10-second penalty, pulls him out of the prize money. And of course, from the dust and mud of the steer wrestling, we move down now to the bucking chutes for, of course, everybody's favourite, the open bull ride. Steve, you of all people know well about this event.
You certainly do, and the bull riding, it's an 8-second contest. The guy's got to ride one-handed and not touch that bull with his free hand as it turns back. Now, the judges are out there and they score the ride from 1 to 25 for how well the bull bucks, for the degree of difficulty, and 1 to 25 for how well that competitor rides that bull, or the style that guy shows. And them two scores are combined. There's two judges, them two scores are combined to come up with a score out of 100. So anything in the 80s and above is a very good bull ride.
Fantastic. We just saw Sam Larson there with a score of 81 points from our official rodeo judges. We move down now to Richmond, Queensland cowboy Lindsay Friend. Of course, the cowboy must now sit up and stay aboard for that 8-second ride. Getting to the critical mark now, the cowboy, well, I tell you what, a little bit of injury there for the cowboy Lindsay Friend from Richmond, Queensland. We'll take another look at that one. Right now you can see the cowboy very poised and balanced and seems to be very much in control. It's right about at that 6-second critical mark the cowboy starts to come unstuck. Right here, as you can see, wham, cops that right in the middle of the chest. And a little bit of injury there for the young cowboy as he goes out with a no score here today. I'll tell you what, perhaps more of a bruised ego than too much damage there. The cowboy Scott Fraser moved down into chute number 2 here. The cowboy, many times Australian bull riding and all-round champion cowboy, has drawn up on the Mighty Bull Matrix here this year. Well, let's have a look at this one. Scott Fraser now once again sits up and shows that style that's taken him to be an Australian champion so many times. Well, Steve, as we can see, unfortunately, just before the 8 seconds, and no score for that cowboy, Scott Fraser.
I've seen that bull buck a lot, and Scott was a little bit behind him, and I thought that bull would have kept coming around there, but see how he jumps out of there and turns back the other way. He's a real thinking bull, that bull, and he knew exactly where that cowboy was and used what he had there, the power and the strength and speed, to throw him down.
Almost certainly those cowboys and bulls are athletes all in their own right. Talking about athletes, the young cowboy from Cloncurry in Queensland, Jason Mara, has this time got aboard the bull featherweight. Now,
this should be a match-up, Guy. This is a little cowboy on a little bull, but an active little bull he is too.
Well, let's have a look at the jumping style of this bull. Now, he's certainly making it difficult for the cowboy Jason Mara to stay in time with him. Jason's doing an excellent job here, stays aboard. We're going to move down to our judges. They tell us he's up for the 8 seconds. We'll just confirm. And of course, that cowboy has a qualified ride there, Jason Mara, with a score of 86 points. As we move to what will be tonight's possible great matchup. Last year's winner of the open bull ride here in Mount Isa, Grant Wells, drawn up on the bull Lethal Injection. Now, of course, the bull is the bucking bull of the year, #1 bull, #1 cowboy. Well, I tell you what, we're in a spot of bother here, folks. Have a look at this as the cowboy is now thrown around like a rag doll. The safety clowns move in to get the cowboy free. He's thrown around, fortunately, safely out of that, Steve. Give us a bit of a running commentary on that run.
Mate, that was a great start that Grant made on that bull, and as we watch him running out of the arena there, but when we get back to it, we'll see Grant Wells, who was 2 times the Australian champion. He gets rocked back a bit, the bull hits the gate. He gets rocked back a bit now, he's pumping that arm, trying to get into that spin. The bull was trying to get him on the outside, now he's moved too far to the inside, and now he's in a world of hurt, I guess, and he's hung up to into the bull rope. Now, the only way he's going to get out of there is then bullfighters can move in, grab the tail of that rope and pull it to release his hand. And you see the bullfighters are copping a fair sort of a pound, and eventually right there, I guess, Lethal Injection says, well, you guys can't get him out, I'll get him out myself.